Providing vital ammunition in the COVID-19 battle. How a state trooper is trading their gun in for needle and thread. And we'll break down how health providers are using technology to make sure their patients are okay even if they cannot make it to the office.
And soggy weather's moving in now, but how long will it last? I'll have that answer now at 4:30.
Around the nation, people are making face masks for those in the medical field, whether that be at the corporate level or right here at home. WYMT's Connor James talked with one woman who's made it essentially a second full-time job. He's live with more. Connor?
Yeah, Steve, like you said, Jackie Joseph still has a full-time job as a Kentucky State Police Lieutenant, but in that little free time she does have, she's picked up somewhat of a new hobby and a second job, making face masks for those who need it. She started doing this just last week, and in that time she's made hundreds of masks. On average, she can make about one every 15 minutes. She makes about 20 a day. And on her weekends, she works around the clock to pump out about 60 of those things. She also does not charge anyone for the masks she makes, despite buying most of the supplies that she needs herself.
If you can do anything, I mean, you don't have to have a real talent. You know, obviously I'm not a seamstress. I just know how to work a sewing machine. So you don't have to have a real talent. Just if you see a need, step up and fill that need.
Fill that need. That's a message she wants everyone to follow. And just to show you how easy it is and how simple it is to fill that need, she just actually learned most of what she's doing now just last week. We'll have much more on her story coming up at 6 and 11. Steve?
All right, Connor, live from his house tonight. Thank you. As the COVID-19 outbreak impacts many aspects of our daily lives, the way we visit our doctor is also changing. WYMT's Madison Pergram has more on the changes at one local hospital.
FaceTime, Skype.
Just a few ways the ARH Cancer Center conducts visits with patients through telemedicine.
What this avoids is them having to come into contact with other people, having to go to medical offices to be seen, especially for routine visits where we can discuss any symptoms, any problems over electronically.
Linking some of the most vulnerable patients to providers.
We have one of the highest risk populations in the entire area, and so if we can keep our patients from getting infected, then we can really reduce the burden on the community and the burden to the patients as well.
Reaching out to those patients while they stay in the comfort of their home.
Now the restrictions have been lifted, and so we can really use your personal devices at home. You can give consent prior to our actual consultation when we connect with you.
Sam Bailey, an ARH oncologist, says the process goes beyond the actual checkup.
We can see the patients, and we can even send the prescriptions to the pharmacy. That eliminates them having to get a paper prescription.
All with the goal of eliminating those face-to-face interactions.
Medicine was heading this way before, but the corona epidemic has certainly sped up our progress in this.
Innovation meeting needs in times of uncertainty. In Hazard, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials with the hospital say to look out for expanded telemedicine services throughout their hospital system. As part of its effort to slow the spread of COVID-19, officials at the Cumberland Gap National Park have closed restrooms and picnic shelters. Outdoor spaces, including the Pinnacle Overlook and trails, remain open. They also urge you to pick up any trash you may have to keep everyone safe. Restaurants are one of the hardest hit industries impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak. Many have either closed up shop or made adjustments to how people get their food. Now health officials in Franklin County are placing even more restrictions on restaurants. They're asking every restaurant to not allow customers inside at all. That includes for takeout or pickup orders. Those must be taken outside to customers from restaurant employees themselves. It is a move owners will not argue with.
No, it makes sense. I think the way they're going to get over this is for everybody to stay at home. You know, and that doesn't do anything for me and my business or anybody else's business, but let's stop. Stop. That's it.
It's a measure the Franklin County Health Department hopes will help keep people from crowding around inside a restaurant waiting for their food. Workers at an Amazon warehouse in Bullitt County have tested positive for COVID-19, forcing that facility to close down temporarily. Amazon did not specify how many workers tested positive. The company says they are now in quarantine and recovering. The Shepherdsville warehouse is undergoing, quote, additional sanitation. 3 Fayette County public school employees have tested positive for COVID-19. The district announced one of those employees was diagnosed yesterday. 2 were employees who worked inside the school, the other a transportation employee. Health experts say if any school employees become infected in any school district in the near future, that threat to children is actually minimal.
Well, I don't think the students are at risk. Students actually young folks tend to be doing very well with this illness. I mean, there is a very small chance that they would have a severe illness.
Dr. Stanton also added that this is a community illness. We've got hundreds, if not thousands, of people out there that have been exposed or have some clinical cases of COVID-19, so it's not rare out there anymore. Garth Brooks is rescheduling his concert in Cincinnati like many artists have done across the country. It was originally scheduled for May 16th. Now that concert will be June 27th. The concert is at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. All tickets will be honored. Brooks sold 65,000 tickets in less than an hour.
We're seeing some lighter showers that have moved through the area, but heavy showers are expected as we head into the rest of this evening and maybe even a few thunderstorms. We'll go ahead and take you up to pinpoint Doppler, starting to see some heavier bands of rain move along areas I-75, really just outside of our area and places like Rockcastle. Now starting to move it a little bit into parts of Jackson County, some heavier bands over Floyd Pike and a little bit into parts of Martin County. So you can see over the past hour, these showers have been moving through fairly quickly, and that'll continue as we head into tonight. But the reason we're going to see all this rain is because of this warm front down to the south that will bring us some heavier showers and maybe even some flooding issues, localized flooding issues, something we'll definitely keep an eye on as we head into tonight. Our severe threat obviously non-existent, but definitely could see a few thunderstorms down in the deeper south as we head into tonight. Now we could see a few rumbles of thunder, but mostly just that heavy rain. So how much rain are we expecting? I'll have that answer coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. She says being a part of the daily governor's news conferences is bringing awareness to another big problem facing the state. Virginia Moore is the interpreter signing for the deaf and hard of hearing during Governor Andy Beshear's news conferences. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Moore about how her being included in the briefings is helping a lot of Kentuckians.
Virginia Moore is the executive director of the Kentucky Commission on Deaf and Hard of Hearing. She says, according to the last census data, there was about 700,000 Kentuckians who suffer from hearing loss. And she was thrilled when she was asked by the governor to be part of these hearings when the first COVID-19 cases were announced. She says there are a tremendous number of Kentuckians who will need these services in the future as well, primarily because of the 1 in 5 teenagers who will suffer hearing loss because of listening to too loud music in earbuds and because of the aging population. Moore's job is challenging to hear the often bad or sad news and then to sign that while trying to keep her composure all the same.
He mentioned the other day about lighting the house green for compassion because we had lost another person. I got choked up, but you know, I convey what the governor conveys. I'm only as good as the governor. If he's calm, I'm calm.
Moore was recently named a Kentucky colonel by the governor, and once word of that got out, it was very popular on social media. Many of the posts liked or shared hundreds, if not thousands of times. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
I know many people appreciate her. Moore says there are tremendous job opportunities in signing and encourages young people to consider careers to help the deaf and hard of hearing. President Trump says he wants the U.S. open for business by Easter. That's less than 3 weeks from now. Meanwhile, a deal between the Trump administration and Congress on a massive Phase 3 rescue package to cushion the economic blow of the coronavirus could just be hours away. The proposed bill will put checks directly in the hands of many Americans, providing more funding for health care needs and unemployment insurance, and give low loans to businesses large and small.
Last night, I thought we were on the 5-yard line. Right now, we're on the 2.
Folks at home don't need we're close. They need this done.
We are also learning there is another news conference set for 5:30 from President Trump and members of the National Coronavirus Task Force. If that starts while Governor Beshear is talking, we will put the national news conference on our second channel, H&I. Now, top White House coronavirus response expert Dr. Deborah Birx says testing is expanding and that the U.S. will surpass South Korea in testing efforts after today. Coming up here on Mountain News at 4:30, doctors in the United Kingdom believe there might be another symptom of COVID-19 to be on the lookout for. We'll break down what that is.
And soggy weather moves in tonight, but as we head into the next few days, we'll start to warm up. And could we see a little bit of sunshine in that 7-day forecast? I'll have that answered coming up.